I'm Liz Parker-Kuhn. Today we are talking to Michael Fisher, the founder and CEO of Rotten. Thanks for being here today with us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to chat.
To start off, what are some consumer trends right now in the gummies category?
Yeah, so I think first off, I just want to say gummies in general are the big kind of consumer trend right now. So I'm sure as you've seen looking at the data, the performance in the non-chocolate candy category is just super, super strong. Seeing it steal market share year over year, kind of away from chocolate, which traditionally has been the dominant category in candy. And so I think what we're seeing is just more and more younger consumers, so Gen Alpha, Gen Z, millennials, gravitate towards the non-chocolate candy products over the chocolate ones for a lot of their consumption behaviors. So that's super exciting for us because we have our two products right now in the non-chocolate space, and we have a pretty robust product roadmap planned out to continue developing in the non-chocolate space. The two other big trends I would say are kind of more extreme flavors. And two of the big things there are around like extreme sour and then also spicy. So there has not been a ton of spicy innovation in the candy category. Like I grew up loving hot tamales and they're still delicious, but beyond that, hasn't been a ton happening in the kind of spicy space. And I think we're starting to see a lot more of that with spicy coatings. I saw yesterday GoPuff did a collaboration with Skittles to launch spicy Skittles, which I ordered some from GoPuff yesterday to try. So those were awesome to see. And then the other one I mentioned is extreme sour, and that's near and dear to us, and something we've continued to develop around. So one of our products is sour gummy worms, and we have continued to iterate on the sourness level, both kind of on the internal gummy and on the coating and the different types of acid we're using to accomplish that kind of all deliver a different flavor profile and have different, linger capabilities. But largely our consumers want things to be more sour. A lot of the like mainstream sour candy out there is, not developed to be super sour. And we're seeing more and more consumers want things that actually like make them wince when they eat it and like deliver that kind of little bit of excitement for them.
Okay. I definitely saw those sour Skittles. I have not tried them yet, but it looked interesting.
Yeah.
So similarly, how does Rotten work to keep up with current consumer interests?
Yeah. So we pay a lot of attention to both what's happening in the market, in terms of sales on other products out there, as well as feedback from customers. So we launched as a direct-to-consumer brand. We've largely transitioned into retail over the last several months, but our direct-to-consumer background gives us a really great kind of channel to communicate with our customers and get feedback immediately. So we're hearing from our customers, 2 weeks after we've sent them product, whereas the feedback cycle selling in retail is much longer if there even is a feedback cycle at all to hear from customers. And so that's allowed us to iterate and do things like make our sour gummy worms more sour because we were largely hearing from customers that with a product like ours, with a look like ours, they wanted it to be kind of more of this extreme sour. The other piece is ensuring that, we're staying on top of what's performing in the market. And so one thing we've noticed is that candy with kind of dual texture or, even more than two textures, that's really exciting for customers. So like combining crunchy and gummy, combining like liquid and gummy, all these things, again, they just keep things exciting for the customer. They feel like familiar to what we kind of grew up having. They're nostalgic, but then they're also very novel with the combination of textures. And so we're really kind of leaning into that with our development as well.
Okay. Yeah, I've definitely been seeing that a lot. Also, like dual texture or like filled gummies, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And are there any, you kind of just touched on this, but are there any other like notable innovations in gummies that you've seen recently?
I think, for us, a lot of the innovation is around um, how can we take some of these new developing consumer taste preferences around multiple textures, crunch, liquid, spicy, super sour, and deliver on those in a really exciting way while also delivering on the kind of better for you trends that we're seeing. And so marrying those two together feels exciting. I think traditionally a lot of better for you product, the innovation really sits in the better for you, and there isn't as much innovation on the actual like form factor or texture or like kind of product profile of the candy. And with our roadmap and development, we're actually like now trying to do both. Um, and so I think that's exciting, but really on the better for you side, it's leaning into colors coming from fruits, veggies, and superfoods. Seeing a big trend, especially from parents with young kids around avoiding artificial dyes. And obviously there's more legislation coming out around this, and I think just more people are becoming a bit more aware of artificial dyes, and so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the candy space. And then the other big piece for us is, you know, not just having a better for you product that means it's like slightly less bad for you, but packing the product full of good for you ingredients also. And so a big part of that for us is using, gut healthy prebiotic fibers and using prebiotic fibers coming from multiple sources because, diversity in the fiber helps your gut even more. And so I think as we're seeing consumers purchase snacks and beverages, huge trend in the soda industry, also in the better for you soda industry. But really looking for ingredients like fiber and protein, etc., to come out of some of their, favorite uh, snacks and beverages.
Okay, makes sense. And then do you have any recent or upcoming launches to share?
We do have a big upcoming launch. It is our Gummy Crunchies product. And so this is our kind of dual texture gummy and crunchy product that we will be releasing in a ring shape. And that will be coming out in the next couple of months. We gave a little preview of it at Sweets and Snacks earlier this year, showing it to some retailers. But very excited to get this into consumers' hands in the next couple of months. I think, like I was saying before, really plays well into this idea of it's familiar and nostalgic in a lot of ways, but also incredibly new and innovative, both just on the product side, but also the fact that it is this better for you format with fiber in the product and low glycemic sweeteners and all natural colors, flavors, etc.
Okay. Is that like is it more like a freeze-dried gummy or is it like half crunchy, half gummy?
Yeah, half crunchy, half gummy.
Okay. Interesting. I don't think I've seen that before.
Mm.
And then finally, what's your favorite rotten product to enjoy?
Favorite is definitely our sour gummy worms right now, but of the once we have our new product out, it's definitely the sour gummy crunchies. It's there's just so much going on in your mouth. It's super fun to eat. A lot of different flavors, textures, and they all just come together really nicely. I've been meaning to send you some samples of it too, so I need to add that back on my to-do list so I can have you try those.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be curious to try those. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but thanks again for being here with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Always fun.